State the President, raise your right hand.
The evidence you shall give the court and jury in the trial of this issue shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Could you please introduce yourself to the jury, spelling your first and last name?
Sure. My name's Dr. Cynthia Morris-Kukoski. That's C-Y-N-T-H-I-A. Last name is M-O-R-R-I-S-K-U-K-O-S-K-I.
And you're here today because you conducted some forensic toxicology analysis in this case?
Yes, I did.
Where do you work?
I work at the FBI laboratory in the chemistry unit.
And what's your official title or position?
I'm a Forensic Examiner-Toxicologist for the chemistry unit.
And how long have you been in that position at the FBI lab?
I've been in that position for over 20 years.
And what sort of things do you do there?
As a toxicologist, we work on biological evidence, things as blood, urine, vitreous, vomit, tissues, and sometimes foods and other stains.
I'd like to ask you some questions about your education, training, and experience, okay?
Okay.
Let's start with education. Can you tell us about what education you have that puts you in a position to do the work you do?
Sure. I have a Bachelor's of Science in Pharmacy from the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy. I have a Doctor of Pharmacy from the Massachusetts College of Pharmacy, a clinical residency in clinical toxicology from Hennepin Regional Poison Center.
And what about training?
At the FBI laboratory, we undertook a 2-year extensive forensic examiner training. It breaks down into both written didactic tests in various subjects, as well as competency tests on various items of evidence in various exams, as well as moot courts.
And in terms of experience, you said you've been working there for how long?
Over 20 years.
Could you give any kind of a ballpark whatsoever about how many cases you've done forensic toxicology casework in?
A gazillion. I couldn't even begin to.
How many zeros is that?
Yes, that's an over-exaggeration, but
a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
Have you testified as an expert witness in court before?
Yes, I have. I've testified in various military tribunals, as well as grand juries, state and federal cases.
And in those instances, have you been accepted by the court as an expert witness?
Yes, I have.
Your Honor, I would offer Dr. Morris-Kukoski as an expert in the area of forensic toxicology.
No objection, Your Honor.
The witness is qualified.
I want to ask you some questions about your work in this case, okay? Did you perform some analysis in this case, the Quentin Simon case?
Yes, I have.
Okay. At some point, did your lab receive from the agents in Savannah here a pillow in a pillowcase?
Yes, we did.
And were you asked to look at that to see whether it was suitable for forensic toxicology analysis?
Yes, I was asked to look at it.
And can you tell me what the results of your review of the pillowcase was?
After visually looking at the pillow inside the pillowcase, I deemed it unsuitable for toxicology analysis, meaning either the debris or stain that was on there was too small and just couldn't be analyzed.
Is it the case that you need, if you're trying to do forensic toxicology on a stain of some sort, that you need a certain amount to be able to get off the ground in the process?
Yes, I've analyzed various stains over the years, be it urine stains from someone peeing their pants, vomit stains from being over an item after someone's had too much to drink, as well as blood stains that may or may not contain sweat stains. And basically doing this over 20 years and putting samples, putting some solution on various types of clothing or other household items, we look at the amount of volume that it takes for the particular procedure, and then by putting that on objects, I've pretty much gotten to the point where I can tell you that for most items, I need to cut a 2-inch by 2-inch square piece of material with a stain on it.
And your assessment was there just wasn't enough on this pillow or pillowcase for you to do that?
Correct, there was not enough.
Did you also receive something that appeared to you to be brain tissue?
Yes.
How did you know it was brain tissue?
I went down to talk with the forensic anthropologist after I worked with my chemist to check in the clothing and articles from the house, and had asked her what she received in the case. And she had said that she found and had some debris that I might be interested in that was found within the frontal bone. And I've worked with brain specimens over 20 years, as well as other tissues and organs. And it actually has a very unique smell that you cannot miss.
Now, the forensic anthropologist that you were talking to about this, who was that?
That was Dr. Christensen.
Okay. I'd like to approach with what's been admitted into evidence as State's Exhibit 78 and identified as some images from Dr. Christensen's bench notes. And I'd like to see whether you could kind of indicate to the jury here on the third page of State's Exhibit 78 what this this bit of brain tissue that you're describing, what it looks like in this picture, where it is in this picture. Can you tell us?
It's this mass right here. And this was received, Dr. Christensen did a hand-to-hand transfer. This was inside a Ziploc bag, which was inside a paper bag. And then I took it up, put it in the refrigerator for secure storage overnight, had my chemist check it in the next day, and physically put eyes on all of the layers that were there with the tissue.
Pardon me. Now, just for the record, you've indicated towards the dark mass in the top center of page 3 of that exhibit.
Correct.
Now, did you conduct a drug screen on that piece of brain tissue to see whether you could detect the presence of cocaine or any metabolites of cocaine?
Yes, I did.
What is a metabolite of cocaine?
A metabolite is a substance that forms when the body is breaking down a particular drug. In this case, when cocaine is broken down by the body, it forms two metabolites. Ethylene, if you were using or taking cocaine in conjunction with ethanol or alcohol, and another metabolite, ethylene methyl ester. There is a third metabolite called benzoyl-ethgonine, but benzoyl-ethgonine doesn't require the liver. If I put cocaine in a glass of water, I could actually form benzoyl-ethgonine.
Do you understand I'm going to have to give the court reporter the spellings of all these things later?
Yes, sir.
I'll take care of it. Okay, you are really smart, so I'd like to just ask you to explain sort of as simply as you can what the process was for conducting that drug screen on the brain tissue for cocaine and cocaine metabolites. What did you do?
First, you actually have, you take the specimen itself, you take a portion of that, you weigh it, and you mix it 1-to-1 with deionized water and homogenate it, meaning you're going to grind it up and mix it together. You then have to weigh a small portion of that, which is 1 gram, and put that into a test tube. After you have that specimen ready, you're also going to take a negative control brain as well as 2 other samples of negative control brain that I'm going to spike at various levels that I actually record and know what they are. After I do that, I add a solution to all of the samples. That's called an internal standard. That's there that has drugs with the similar properties of the drugs I'm looking for, but not the drugs themselves. And I do that to make sure that each specimen actually properly extracts through the procedure. If not, and if it doesn't come through, there's something wrong with that particular sample. All of those samples are analyzed using the alkaline drug screen, which uses solid phase extraction, which is a cleanup method that is used to do away with the debris and the biological material and fats and things that we're not interested in, and it concentrates in these individual one-use cartridges. Has a filter in there, and it's filtering out all the stuff we don't want, all that debris, and then we can concentrate with a solution all the stuff we do want, dry it down, put that in a vial, and put that on an instrument called a liquid chromatography tandem mass spectrometer.
Now, all right. This technique that you've described, evidently as simply as you can. Is it a technique that can be tested?
Yes, solid phase extraction technique has been used for over 20 years. This procedure has been used at the FBI laboratory since 2006. These cartridges have been manufactured since 2005, has been used widely in the forensic toxicology community as well as in forensics itself. And the instrument is used not only in toxicology in our lab, but other divisions and also outside the laboratory.
All right, so after all that, what was the result or conclusion you reached as to whether this brain tissue contained any cocaine or cocaine metabolites?
I did not detect any.
Okay, so negative?
Not detected.
Okay. One moment, please. No further questions, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Dr. Kukoski, right?
Morris-Kukoski.
Morris-Kukoski. Okay. I'm going to jump back a little bit. Forensic toxicology analysis, do you only test for what you're asked to test for, or do you test for any type of toxicology?
Depends on the request.
Okay. And let's talk about this particular request, okay? Were you asked to test for any metabolites of controlled substances or specifically cocaine?
No, I was actually specifically asked to look for cocaine and cocaine metabolites, methamphetamine and its metabolite, fentanyl and fentanyl metabolite, as well as oxycodone and oxycodone metabolite.
Okay. And Mr. Dean said that he asked about the cocaine. You said it wasn't detected, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. That seems different than not being present to me. I assume you use your words properly. So you said you didn't detect any cocaine.
Correct. According to our lab policy, we either detect something or not. It's considered either not detected, detective, inconclusive, or identified. That's
Okay.
just our terminology.
And did you have anything that was detected
In the brain tissue?
in the brain tissue?
No.
Okay. And so did you test for fentanyl?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Methamphetamine?
Yes.
Okay. Percocets?
Oxycodone.
Oxycodone? I guess oxycodone is another name for Percocet, if I'm not mistaken. I don't want to put words in your mouth. You corrected me, so.
Oh, sorry. Percocet actually is a combination medicine of oxycodone and acetaminophen. In this, I was not looking for the acetaminophen part, just the oxycodone.
Okay. So, and you said that, and I'm curious, so when you take the tissue, I didn't understand anything of what you just said. So,
Okay.
So let's assume you're talking to somebody who has a much smaller brain than you. What exactly does the testing usually include?
The testing includes you analyzing the sample with a negative control that has no known drug in it,
Okay.
the sample itself, and various positive controls.
Okay. All right. And with regards to, you'll tag us to the biological tissue, you'll take it and you will
Process it.
process it. What's involved in processing it?
That's that solid phase extraction where you're removing and filtering out all the stuff you're not interested in and then concentrating the stuff that's left in that cartridge filter to put on the instrument.
Okay. And how big of a sample are we talking when you do this?
It's a 1 gram, 1-to-1 homogenate. So 1 gram containing of 50-50 water and tissue sample.
Okay. So when you say 1 gram, I assume the total weight's 1 gram?
Correct.
Okay. So it's like half water and half tissue?
Correct.
Okay. I just don't understand, so I'm just trying to make sure I'm not misstating it. Okay. And then I guess you'll put that in that big long word thing you were talking about, the mass.
The instrument, yes.
The instrument, let's call it that. Okay.
Yes.
And then what does that do? Does that use some sort of is it light, gas? I mean, I don't know how that works. So how does the instrument actually work at detecting things?
Okay. The instrument has pumps with fluid. The fluid then gets mixed and put through a column. The column then separates things out based on the chemical properties and then goes to an instrument called a mass spectrometer that will actually tell you the mass of what drug you're looking for, and then will fragment it and look at the chemical fingerprint of that particular compound.
Okay. And when you say the mass, I guess is it some sort of light deal or some sort of chemical atomic weight deal? I mean, I don't know.
Yes, it's the chemical formula. So you could take the formula of cocaine and add a hydrogen. It will give you the mass of cocaine.
All right, so I guess it's looking for that particular chemical property.
It's looking, yes, for that exact mass and the exact retention time. So as I said, things come out in a column and get detected in order, and each one has their own time that they come out with their own molecular weight and their own fragmentation.
Okay. And that being said, you said that there were certain standards, and I don't understand the standards, so I'm just asking, to either be classified as detected, not detected, or inconclusive.
Or identified, correct.
Or identified.
Yes.
So, and what are those standards? Because I didn't hear that. So, what are those standards, and how do they relate to this?
Okay, not detected means you analyze the specimen as you saw fit, you added the internal standard, which is that solution with very similar properties that was detected in your sample, and you did not see the compound of interest. That's not detected.
Okay. And detected?
Detected means you tested it once and you may have seen something, but for some reason you either didn't have enough specimen or something happened that you couldn't repeat the test. Okay. Inconclusive means that you tested it, and when you tested that particular chemical and added that internal standard that has similar properties, if that particular compound did not come through and you could not see it, that's considered inconclusive, because if you can't see something that's very similar in your analysis, you can't say that you potentially saw or did not see what you were looking for.
And just to draw conclusions from this, so in this particular case, having the sample that you tested, all you got the result, and I assume it was not a very much, because I'll look at the picture if you have it. Do you have the picture that Mr. Dean showed you? I didn't see. If you would show me I guess this was the item. Was that the item, or was this the item that you showed me? That one. Okay. And so that was the item that you.
So we'll know, is that particular item marked?
It's States Exhibit 78, item number 3 on 78.
Thank you.
So that was the piece that you tested, and
A portion of it.
that portion of it, at least. And with regards to that, I think that's all the questions I have, because I think you've explained everything to me so that I understand it, but I'm trying to make sure. You weren't able to test the pillow or pillowcase, correct? You were able to get enough testing material for this, correct?
For what, sorry?
For the item 78 that I just showed you?
The
brain tissue?
That's item 29?
It's, I don't know what your item number would be, but
Oh.
yes, I think it is. Hold on. Yes, item 29.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And were you given any other samples to test, or were those the only samples you were given?
No, I was also given a pink washcloth, a shirt, the pillow that we talked about, pants, and a towel.
Okay. Did you perform any testing on those or no?
The pink washcloth was considered unsuitable for analysis. The towel was considered unsuitable for analysis, and I did test stains from the shirt and the pants.
Okay. And I'm just curious, when you said not detected, it means it just wasn't detected in that sample, correct?
Correct, in that tested portion.
Okay. That's all the questions I got. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Just a moment, Doctor. Any redirect?
No, Your Honor.
All right, may this witness be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.